After defeating Drakonius and restoring the Nebula of Forgotten Echoes, Captain Nina and her purple alien co-pilot Zog soared through space aboard the starship Whisker One. Peace in the galaxy, however, never seems to last long. Especially when new planets awaken with ancient secrets. Suddenly, a shimmering hologram appeared above the ship's control panel. It was a crystalline figure, glowing with an ethereal blue and white light. The figure's voice was like the chime of distant bells. Captain Nina, we call for your aid. Our world is dying. The heart crystal of Varellon has been stolen. Zog's large, purple eyes went wide with alarm. Stolen? By who? The hologram flickered, its voice filled with urgency. A being known as the Shatter King. The crystalline figure then vanished, leaving Nina with a cold chill that had nothing to do with the vacuum of space. She turned to Zog, her expression firm. Set coordinates for Varellon. If the heart crystal is missing, an entire planetary system could collapse. As the Whisker One emerged from hyperspace, Varellon revealed itself to be a world unlike any they'd ever seen. Mountains made of pure quartz glittered under a strange sun. Oceans of liquid sapphire swirled against shimmering coastlines, and forests of crystalline trees glowed like lanterns in the twilight. But as they looked up, a sense of dread washed over them. The sky was cracked. Actual, physical fractures shimmered above them, showing terrifying glimpses of the empty void beyond. Zog pointed a nervous paw upwards. That can't be good. Nina's eyes were locked on the fissures in reality. It means the Shatter King has already begun breaking reality itself. They landed the Whisker One on a smooth, glassy plain where a group of crystal guardians approached. They were tall, beautifully faceted beings with warm, resonant voices that seemed to hum through the very air. One of them stepped forward. The Shatter King hides in the obsidian chasm. You must be cautious. He can control sound, vibration, even memories. Zog whispered to Nina, his fur bristling slightly. Memories? I like my memories. Nina offered her co-pilot a reassuring smile, placing a hand on his shoulder. Don't worry, Zog. I'll protect them. The Whisker One glided silently into the obsidian chasm, a deep, jagged canyon carved from black volcanic glass. As they descended, strange echoes began to bounce around them, whispering voices that seemed to repeat and shift, teasing the edge of their hearing. Zog's ears twitched nervously. Nina, did you hear that? It sounded like me. But also not me. Nina's grip tightened on the controls. Stay focused. He's trying to confuse us. The deeper they flew, the more distorted the world became. Gravity began to twist and pull in unnatural ways. The vibrant colors of Varellon faded into a monochrome gray, and time itself seemed to slow to a crawl. Finally, through the swirling chaos, a throne of cracked, dark crystal emerged from the shadows. Sitting atop it was the Shatter King, a towering, menacing figure clad in jagged armor, his eyes glowing with a terrifying white light. His voice vibrated through the ship's hull, a low resonant hum that made their teeth ache. So, the ginger captain comes to challenge me. How quaint. Nina stood her ground, her voice clear and strong. You stole the heart crystal. Return it. The Shatter King let out a deep, rumbling laugh that seemed to shake the very foundations of the chasm. I did more than steal it. I fused with it. My power is now infinite. To prove his point, he slammed a massive crystal hammer into the ground. Waves of pure distortion ripped through the air, and the entire chamber began to bend and warp like liquid. Zog clung to Nina's leg, his voice a terrified squeak. Nina. The floor is turning upside down. Nina didn't flinch. Anti-distortion stabilizers now. She triggered her suit's personal stabilizers and engaged the ships, anchoring them firmly to real space as the world around them twisted into an impossible nightmare. The Shatter King, enraged by their resistance, unleashed a series of powerful sonic blasts that shattered the obsidian walls around them. Nina moved with incredible speed and grace, dodging the attacks with acrobatic leaps, while Zog scrambled to a console, his fingers flying across the keys as he scanned the room. "Captain!" he shouted over the din. "He's using the heart crystal as a resonance core. It's amplifying his power." Nina landed lightly on a floating shard of glass. "So, if we break the resonance," Zog finished her thought, his tail shaking with a mix of fear and excitement. "We break his power." Zog began tapping furiously on a portable frequency disruptor he pulled from his utility belt. The Shatter King boomed, "You cannot defeat sound itself." He raised his hammer for a final devastating blow, but Nina was faster than a shooting star. She leaped onto another floating shard, launched herself forward, and landed a sharp, precise strike on his arm, cracking a piece of his crystal armor. The Shatter King snarled in disbelief. "Impossible." But just then, Zog shouted from across the chamber, "Captain, jump!" Nina leaped into the air without a second's hesitation as Zog activated the disruptor. A wave of pure, harmonic energy flooded the chamber, silent but incredibly powerful. The Shatter King screamed, a sound of grinding crystal and pure agony, as cracks raced across his entire body. Blinding white light spilled out from the fractures. "No, my perfect symmetry." With one final explosive shatter, his form collapsed, dissolving into a million harmless, glittering fragments. And there, at the center of the debris, pulsating with a warm and gentle light, lay the heart crystal. Nina gently lifted the crystal. Instantly, the oppressive darkness of the canyon vanished. The vibrant colors of Varellon flooded back in, and as they looked up, they saw the terrifying cracks in the sky healing, knitting themselves back together as if a wound in the universe had just been mended. Back on the surface, the Crystal Guardians bowed deeply, their forms shimmering with gratitude. "You have saved not just our world," one said, his voice filled with reverence, "but the balance of our entire star cluster." Zog proudly puffed up his purple fur. "We do what we can." Nina looked out at the restored horizon, a thoughtful expression on her face. One villain down. Who knows how many to go? As they prepared to fly back to space, the Guardians presented them with a gift, a small humming fragment of pure crystal energy. Zog examined it curiously. "Think we'll need this?" Nina secured it safely in a storage compartment. "Oh, definitely. Trouble never comes alone." As the Whisker One left Varellon's orbit, the ship's main console began to blink with an incoming message. "It's encrypted," Nina noted, her brow furrowed. "High level. Someone knew we'd be here." Zog leaned closer. "What does it say?" The message slowly decoded on the screen, and a distorted, urgent voice filled the cockpit. "Captain Nina, if you want to save the galaxy, you must find the forgotten planet before they do." Zog gulped, his eyes wide. "Who's they?" Nina stared out into the starfield, her eyes narrowing with determination. "We're about to find out." She turned the Whisker One toward the deeper, darker quadrants of space, toward new planets waiting, new enemies rising, and the next thrilling chapter in the greatest feline adventure the cosmos has ever known. To be continued. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see what happens next, make sure to hit that subscribe button.